Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with D. How you doing? This is going to be my episode recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 10. Episode 4 is really only about Season 6 or 7 in my opinion, but let's need to hear none of that. Let's get right on into the episode. The episode opens up with Lance and Mama Nell. Nell goes over to Lance's house and she looks at the landscaping and sees that her son has a yard that pales in comparison to Fred's. It looks like a barren desert wasteland, but junky. So she goes in the house and she takes charcuterie, and he don't think he have to provide any charcuterie or anything like that because he know Mama Nell gonna bring it, right? So they sit down on the couch and they start talking, and we find out that Lance is a single parent. I'm not gonna waste y'all time on this because I want to know what everybody else wants to know. Where is their baby mom? But he gets to complaining like, oh, Lord, have Mama mercy. Mama Nell, I just can't do it. I just can't raise this here baby all by myself. Now, I'm pretty sure with the amount of children that you have left some single mothers to fend for themselves. Those little 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock feedings that you're complaining about. Women. And this is what pisses me off about society, right? It's supposed to be women are the weaker sex, right? But then when you look at things, how they are, how things have actually evolved, you will see that women are not the weaker sex. Maybe in bone structure and thigh structure and, like all of that. But right here, they ain't got it. Right? So it was a song back in the 80s called, look at my notes. It was a song back in the 80s called, I've got the brain. No, you got the brains and I've got the brawn. Let's make lots of money. So I asked my cousin Carol, who was a genius and educated me on everything I needed to know. If she didn't know it, of course we had trusted encyclopedias. But most things she knew about. So I said, like, what's brawn? And she said, well, like muscle. So ever since then, I looked at men as just muscle. I looked at them, not my father per se, because my father, he really literally was hands-on and literally helped raise us, okay? So naturally, they did things together. My father changed diapers. My father made milk. My mother told me all these things, and I know it to be true because, like, if I cried at night, my mom told me I was a hollerer. And if I cried at night and she was up holding me, he would go warm up the milk. Because back then, all you had was a pot. It was no bottle warmer that you could, like what I had, even though I was a single mother. Like what I had was just sit the bottle in the pot. So all the things that women could do, men could never, ever do. Which is why I know that Obama could have been president. But the point is, he's sitting up there whining, baby. And then finally, because what he's doing, right? As what's the name? Judge Mathis would say, he dry big. I don't really want you to help me, mama. And then she says, baby, I know you don't want me to help you, but let me come over like 2-3 times in a week. Or why don't you come over to our house and stay 2-3 times a week? No, mama, I think you should talk to daddy first. Right? So, y'all don't see the dry begging involved here? Yeah, that's what he's doing, dry begging. And he knows that Nell is going to acquiesce. Well, baby, listen to me. Let me tell you, your daddy ain't my daddy. I'm his wife. And if I go tell him that I'm staying over here 2 nights a week, that's what I'm going to do. See, he got his way. So moving right along. So now it's time for the girls to go to retail therapy. Who do we have at retail therapy? We have the Scott sisters-in-law. And then we have Destiny, right? So the Scott sisters-in-law, and they are just elated. No Mel, no Tiffy Lou, no Nell. It's just them. We don't have to include the rest of the group. We don't have to include Trish. It's just us, right? So, mind you, in all of this, let's think about this thing now and how this thing works. They are excluding slowly people in the group that they don't think that they should have to film. They're doing a little mini ice out, which they try to do to Mel. Trust me. However, did y'all see that little spittle? Well, people talking, spit come out, and plus my mouth is going in a direction of dry. Anyway, the point is, like how these women get together and they're supposed to be a cast, right? So anytime that the cast can film together, especially with these women, it should be a situation where all the women are filming, in my opinion. But because Tisha had this little issue with Nell, she don't want to film with Nell, right? And you're not going to get me to believe in any instance that it hasn't come a time when she has told Kimmy, because Kimmy is now her left dog firmly planted up her ass. Like, just like Miss Wonder Woman. And so they get to talking about Martel. Oh no, Martel got mental issues. Now first they talk about Lance. And they talk about how Lance just done Destiny dirty. Now mind you, in this previous scene with Nell and Lance, they also talk about Destiny. Well, Destiny called me and she told me, and it's very easy for me to do her voice now that my mouth is dry. I'm about to go to frog in a minute. Destiny has also called her. Now, Destiny is over there telling them that, it was just casual dating. Lance is saying that, he owes her conversation. Not too much. He don't really owe her anything. They weren't dating like that. They just went on a couple of dates, very casual. This is stupid. This is stupid to me on both their parts, because I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. I probably would have ghosted his ass. I definitely want to talk to his mama, right? But we have a show to make. But me, in real life, had I found out he had a baby and we've only gone on a couple of dates, that's my way of backing out. See me backing out. Shit. Fuck that little nigga. Let me tell you something. I don't care about how much money a man has. I don't care how handsome a man is. And I don't give a damn if we had the X and it was good. If you do some it like that to me, I'm going to ghost and back out. You don't ever have to worry about me calling you again. You don't have to talk. You damn sure don't have to worry about me calling your mom. And that's that's the approach I've always taken about dating. Don't think something like this hasn't happened to me. Actually, my ex-boyfriend, who was my boyfriend first, he got engaged to somebody else. And he was damn near at the altar, up in my face. Yeah, it happened. And when I found out about the young lady, I did confront him. I gave him the opportunity. I didn't back out, but I normally ghost him. But I didn't ghost him that time. But this is a good example. I just told him, "Well, you be happy in your marriage," and now he is indeed divorced. So there you have it. So Destiny should take that same attitude. I mean, you know damn well you don't have anything with Lance. And I won't know how many things, 2 or 3 things. Why aren't we seeing Lamh? Why don't we know where Destiny lives? And why in the entire fuck is she still holding on to Madonna? These are questions that I need answered. And these are questions or events that need to happen at Destiny's apartment. Or where do we know what she stay? Does she stay in an apartment or what? What is this? As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Well, actually, I really forgot what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. But what I was saying was, we still at retail therapy, and the point was that I was trying to make was that uh, this group is disjointed, and even in little scenes like this, you can tell. But at the same time, they should be able to be in a room together to tape a little scene where they're just going shopping in some made up boutique type store that production was able to get them to close for that time meeting, right? Um, and I also was talking about how I wouldn't care one way or the other with Lance and Destiny, because Destiny does just have to have something to do, because this is stupid, in my opinion. What's the purpose other than her not filming at her own place of business or home or whatever? So of course she mentions Motel Hotel, and the girl's like, well, I'm just gonna go over here and shop and shop. And then, well, before that, back to Lance, they was talking about the googly eyes that Destiny was making at, oh boy, the nephew or whatever. So, or the godson or whatever. So, who cares? She can make googly eyes just like he made a damn baby. Move right along. Back to Motel Hotel. So they was talking about how Motel Hotel um had done that interview, and they were like he was mentally ill. And I'm saying the same thing that every other content creator has said who reviews this show. It is fucking very, very ironic that they now see how Motel Hotel is. As if they didn't see how he was when he treated Melody the way he was treating Melody. They didn't see that Motel Hotel was off the rocker when he shared pictures of his wife. You thought that was normal? But when he shared pictures of his paramour, you thought that was normal? Or when he called Melody a hoe to her face on TV, you thought that was normal? Or Marcel, when you had to physically take him off his feet and remove him from the situation with Melody, you thought he was normal? At the time, when all of these things happened to Melody, he was a great guy. But now all of a sudden, he's off the rock. Hypocrites. I do. Yeah, to me, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and venture to say that these are some of the most hypocritical people that I've ever seen on TV. So, move right along. So, we have Jalen and Kim. And so, Jalen is basically saying that he's not going to Colorado. And that whole adventure that happened between him and Maurice, he says it's squashed. But just remember, the only thing that we have to say about these young men is that what we need to realize is that one thing they have in common in a bond that ties them and is supposed to tie them forever. They are all cute. I do believe that Maurice is indeed a cute. Just a minute, somebody did. Well, that was my medicine. So let me hear it and get finished with this because I keep having interruptions. So I was on Jalen and Kim. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Jalen and Kimmy are also fraternity brother and fraternity sister. Okay, so they're all intertwined in the Delta Q situation, right? So at least, at the very least, I think, like I said, I think all of them are Q. Maurice, Marceau, and Jalen. Well, look at Jalen. He's the only J in the world in this group. But anyway, at least the very least they are all Q's. And my point is, at least they could have, if they can't have the father son connection that we're seeing that they don't have, maybe they could just bond as freaking friend brothers. And I'm gonna move on from this. He's not going to Colorado, and the rest of the scene was blah 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 blah. Anyway, anything that has to do with Kimmy is blah 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 blah. Anyway, I mean, she ain't interested at all. I used to look at her as the voice of reason on the show, and then I realized she's a damn pick me. So, moving right along to Nell and Tati. Nell and Tati meet, and Nell tells her about her experience with Tisha and how Tisha goes from 10 to 100 in 20 seconds. And Tati, well, that's never been my experience with Tisha. You really got to get to know her. What you say? Well, we got to really get to know Tisha. And basically, that's all was said there. And I just find it very strange how we're not exploring the familiar dynamic with with Trish and Miss Nell and the family, because Trish is family. I mean, she said that her mom and Chris are first cousins. That would make them second cousins. So they're in-laws, her and Nell. So they could team up against the rest of the crew. But I don't think I don't think Trish is gonna go down that road, because they don't even have a real family connection. I mean, blood ties. Well, I guess they're in-laws as well. So, but Tisha and Nell don't have blood ties, but Tisha and Kim don't have blood ties. They're in-laws as well. So, the same thing can apply here. So, but again, I don't think Trish is going to go down that road, because Trish seems like she wants to belong. She especially seems like she wants to have a closeness with Kim. And that's that on it, in my opinion. So, Lance meets up with Pops, right? So Pops goes over there, he's chilling, you know how cool Chris is. So he's like, what's up, man? What's going on? I hear you. You having a little trouble with the baby, and what's that about? Hey, Dad, I just thought that that Mom has agreed to just come over to the house a couple nights a week and meet with me, so she can help me out with the baby. Say what now? Do you think that's fair to me, seeing as how, your mama is my wife and we got to have sex at time? That's basically what he was saying. You're interrupting old people's sex time. Can y'all be damn birds and fly the coop and get the hell out the nest? I'm sick of y'all. I'm just saying what I think he should be saying. And then he's like, how would you feel if that was your one? Let me tell you what you need to do. You need to go hook up with Motel Hotel, Holiday Inn, and ask him what it's like to be a single father raising his kids, because he seems to have a connection with his kids. Well, here's the difference that I'm seeing. And I don't know this to be 100% true, but this is the dynamic that it seems to be showing on this show. I don't think that the situations are equivalent, because I don't think that Motel Hotel is a single father. To me, a single father is what they're portraying Lance to be. Somebody who is literally raising the kids from the ground up. Not a weekend parent, not a every other weekend or every other week parent, a primary custodial parent. Martel is not that. They share custody. But to give Martel Hotel some family time, let's go with it. Okay, moving right along. So we get to the Nell and Trish show, the Nell and Tisha showdown. So this is what everybody wants to see, because this was the coup de grace, right? So they get together. Miss Ma'am, she orders her a macchiato. I have a macchiato. So she thinks she's prim and proper and the new head chick on the block. So Nell arrives, right? And Nell is already, clocking her for her shit. And so she starts in on this right away. She was like, so I don't appreciate you taking this thing from 0 to 100. Well, I don't remember thinking anything from 0 to 100. I don't recall. Well, that's how you are when you are taking them back. Turn up, Tish. And I said, well, I don't remember getting his face, but I do recall him talking about the NDA. And when they talk about the NDA, he bring up my husband's name. And I don't think people should be able to bring a husband's name. So in confessional, Tisha like, I really don't like the way she talking to me right there. And Nell's like, I'm not going to take too much off these Sky women. Basically what she was saying. I don't know who the hell they think they am, but they think that I am, but they about to find out. Okay? Because I don't play about fleet. So she didn't say that I did, but I had it on my own. So anyway, Nell is like, but if I recall correctly, the way husband got brought into this is because Marceau brought my husband into something that he had nothing to do with. And she's like, well, I mean, you got such a tight leash on your husband. He had to take a picture in Atlanta so that he could show that, that he was with Marceau. What in the hell is you talking about, bitch? In this instance, Marceau tried to use my husband as an alibi. She didn't say that I did. I put my own judge on it, but basically that's what was said. And that's what happened. Because you remember the big back, behind the scenes and everything. You could throw everything in his back. Big back. So you remember the picture of the big back, right? So that's where all this stemmed from. And Tisha was in the car about to lose her shit. Now she don't worry about infidelity, right? She know that was his big back in that doggone picture allegedly. She knows her husband back. Even we know that spotted back when we see it, okay? That's what it is. It's covered up most of the time when we see it, but we know the shape of it. We know the legs and the hips and the body. So we pretty much knew that was his back. But they skated over there and they iced over there and they were able to get out of that. And Nell just called him out. And Tisha thinks that everybody's as stupid as she. So she tries to gaslight Nell. She tried to gaslight her when she said that she didn't take it to 100. Then she tried to gaslight her and tell her that she don't recall getting in Chris's face. Then she tried to say that, Nell, she tried to reverse that thing and make Chris be the one who needed Marceau as an alibi. No, bitch, it was your husband that needed an alibi. Chris was with his old lady. She said, what are you talking about? I was with him. He went to get me something to eat. My man came back to the hotel room. You weren't there. You weren't there with your man. Your man went to Africa without you. My man took me to Atlanta. Your man went to Atlanta without you. My man took me to Atlanta. Now, I don't get on no man's side because I don't like Chris either. Because I think he's a dirty dog as well. Right? But in this particular instance, I am team Nell, Hammer and Nell. Chris and Nell. They spell her name like this kind of Nell or the Nell you Nell. in the ground. Boy, just think if Tisha had a call Miss Nell or Nell at that moment, I think Miss Nell would have jumped over that table, and then we would have saw Miss Wanda flying from Bessemer, the deep, dark ditches and hell of Bessemer, to get to Miss Nell about beating the hell out of her dog. But look, Miss, let me tell you something, Wanda. You got your 8 brothers and sisters, and I always tell people that think they bad because they got a big family. Somebody got a bigger family than you do. Okay? So don't ever think that you can fly down just because you can fly them and pull them out of the hells and the depths of Bessemer. That Miss Nell ain't capable of doing the same thing too, because she has some young pharaoh, young sons that would probably go to war for her ass. Okay, so she ain't scared of you, and she ain't scared of little man and doodle head and all the rest of them, and the one with the chop. She ain't worried. Now Mel was on the child, so y'all can punk her just a little bit. She didn't say anything to y'all either, but I'm just saying. Y'all thought y'all could punk her a little bit. But see, Nell got them young pharaoh sons. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think they are, and plus Chris. You know what I'm saying? So I think they'll go to war for her. And I thought they'll go to hell going to war for her. So don't ever think Miss Wanda. And then Wanda got kicked. And then Miss Nell got kicked. So Kiki will probably come out the depths of hell and jump over there on excuse me, on Tisha. Or you, for that matter. It's somebody out there that don't play about Nell too. You just keep that in mind when you coming about the depths of hell, best coming to Tisha's defense even when she's wrong. And that's always been my problem with you, Wanda, and them bad knees of yours. You come out the depths of hell in Bessemer to defend your daughter even in her bullshit. And she knows you're going to do it. That's why she says the things that she says to people, because she throw out dog whistles thinking that you ain't, like I said, it's somebody always bigger and better than you. And I'm sure Nell wouldn't mind going toe to toe with your ass. I would. I wouldn't mind going to. And then Tisha gets upset. Well, she act like I'm above it all. I'm above it all now. And I'm the new queen of Love and Marriage Hospital. This is where I bring my parents in the PTA meetings for me to meet with other parents. I will not sully my reputation digging down in the dirt, in the mud with you. We'll talk later. And then Miss Nell's like, hell, bitch, we ain't got to talk. And that's where the episode ends. Me being proud as hell, Hammer and Nell. Bravo, Miss Nell. And then you ready to go to hell with Tisha. And that's where it should be, right? Because we tired of Tisha and Bessemer Wanda. Okay? And that's going to be the end of this episode. Come on in, come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is indeed caring. And that way we can get me all about into the algorithm where I used to be. But for some reason, I'm getting like single digit views and double digit views. I'm like, what the hell? My channel was really growing at one time, and I'm not understanding what happened. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just hope you all continue to watch. And with that, as I do when I close, I'm going to throw them up. Not throw them up. I'm throwing them up. I chunk them up. I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces.